But this isn't my vision. How could I lose? I'm finally winning. This shit feels so different. Been through the struggle, living in shelters. We was fighting evictions. My bro in the cell, I'm yelling free him. He been fighting convictions. Ain't shit by the change, become a tradition. But this isn't my vision. They want me in ghettos, they want me in pride.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Marsco, and I'm sitting here with one of the hottest to do out of CT right now. We actually in his place of business. I'm sitting with DilliGang, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. I appreciate you having me in this space. Can you break down what this is for the people real quick?
We at the stew right now. It's been, what you looking at now, it's been a long time coming, but, we started this in 2012, and we've just been making our name in Connecticut ever since. Building up little by little. Like I said, we've been at it 10 years, so, yeah.
That's amazing. Have all 10 years been here?
So it started, I was telling you earlier, it started in the building next to the, right next to where we're at right now. It was a storefront. So we started in that building. It was a storefront, like I said. I had to build the booth and all that shit. We separated the front from the back. We put a clothing store in the front. It's a real long story, honestly, the whole transition of the shit, but I'll make it short. So the studio was right there. Then, like I was telling you, I didn't have to tell you the whole story, but we had the studio in Chicopee. We got that and this around the same time, and we converted the old studio into a full clothing store. All the Way Clothing. Shout out All the Way Clothing. Follow us everywhere. And the Instagram for this is actually the stew, at the stew. Follow us there.
And you still run that clothing brand?
Yeah, I'll get to that. So that was the clothing store. I started renting this space and the space in Chicopee at the same time, but I just didn't want to let them. I was waiting for this building to open. Since I opened that one, I knew what it was in here and the rooms and what it could be. So when I got the chance, we just jumped on it. And at first I just started renting out the rooms to other people, and I had the one studio room, but then eventually we transitioned out of Chicopee, came down here, got this, just put all our time into this studio, kind of made it what it is now. And then recently we also just bought some space, or rented some space in New York City, in Times Square area. So now we got two locations. We got the location right here in Enfield, Connecticut, and New York, Midtown.
What's the vision with that New York place, man?
I've been going crazy in there. I actually had Rowdy Rebel in there last week.
Wow.
We've been just trying to get as many people who are doing shit out there, and just people who are trying to do shit out there, and
just tapping with a whole new scene, right?
Yeah, basically, it's a different market and a different scene out there, So.
That's fire, and so even from that, like.
And now the clothing store is still up. We moved it over there. It's in the front. Like I said, all your custom merch, anything you need, even for yourself, we got whatever you need. Fucking sweatsuits, tech suits, t-shirts, everything, embroidery, screen print, DTG. So we do all that, even vinyl. If you want something quick, we do everything.
That's fire. Nah, I definitely respect anybody who got their own brand and stuff, because I'm small time with it right now, but I definitely this is mine. I got my name on this shit. Do it for the city. Team 4 and 3, my thing.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta go check out the store after, because we got the best prices too. No one's gonna beat up unless it's your boy or something. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
We get the cheap blank clothes. Even if you got somebody who prints them up, we got the cheap blank clothes on deck.
I was gonna say, so you sell blank stuff and everything?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That's our biggest thing, really. We got a bunch of blank shit, so we just happen to have the embroidery and the screen print connection that we bring a lot of business. So we,
To get the work, get the deals, and everything like that. That's fire. So I'm even going past that. I'm a dreadhead too, and do you ever get flack for being a white guy with dreads, bro?
Yeah, a lot of people do, honestly. Sometimes you don't even know if they joking or not, but I don't care. I myself, I actually had dreads when I was 16.
I was gonna say you had
I started growing my hair out. Well, I'm older now. I've been had these ones for 12 years, so you could do the math on that. I'm 34, so I've been at this for a long time. You know what I mean? But I had dreads when I was in high school. I grew my hair, and I just didn't like to comb that shit. So it got real crazy in the back, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna dread my shit. I did it myself, but they were crazy, so I let my mother and my girl at the time convince me to cut them shits, and it was one of the most biggest regrets of my life. But I'm glad I got to start fresh, you know what I mean, and I've been growing them ever since. After that,
That's what's up.
Yeah, they long as fuck. I've been growing for like 12 years. Basically, as long as we had the studio, I've been growing. I've been almost growing these shit.
That's fine. You know, that's longer than me. I've had mine since like I'm only 21 right now. So since like my junior year of high school, I was probably that's like 5 years now.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, and even I cut them like 2 years ago. I cut them because like it was just in a weird place. I wasn't fucking with the way they was looking and stuff.
Yeah.
I had to get them out of there. and we started.
Yeah, nah, yeah, oh yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ends of mine, and you gotta trim them. They be breaking and shit like this one, but yeah, I mean, some people, I don't fucking know.
You be doing things to take care of them? You're like, you just
I mean, I get them. Right now, I need to get them done. So they look crazy right now. I got an appointment coming up next month. But I do go every like 6 months and get my roots done. Right. I just wash them. You know what I mean? Do the baking soda, apple cider vinegar every once in a while and shit like that. But yeah, man. It's sometimes I don't know, and I see when you know what I mean. Some people see me and they might make a joke, but they might just really be, you know what I mean, like complimenting me in a way. But then some people I know there's some negative, some negative shit behind it. But you know what I mean. It is what it is. Exactly. I'm sure some white Vikings or cavemen had some dreads at one point.
Definitely. Now that you say that, bro, I'm definitely seeing like Viking vibes. You definitely got the Viking vibes with the beard, you know, the blonde, long flowing shit. Right. This is probably what Thor actually look like.
What is it, right? Yeah.
Nah, but yeah. So what's your connection to Don, man?
Don and the dreads, man. I have to give him up to Bob Marley, man. I love Bob Marley since I was a kid, so I was like, he's one of my biggest musical influences. You know what I mean, all the way around, just his music in general and his message and shit. So. Definitely big up to Bob Marley. That's probably why I have these, because I always looked up to him. Even before I smoked weed and shit, man. I didn't even know what weed was, but I just was gravitated towards that. So, but Don, man, it's a crazy story, and he'll probably tell you. I mean, if you ask him, I'll tell you this shit too. But I was at a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm doing a lot. I'm doing good with the studio. Let me see who's really, you know, making some noise out here. You know what I mean? Who's doing their thing out here. And I had already followed him, I think. And I was just going through my Instagram. I just pulled it up one day. The day I was thinking of that shit, I pulled it up and I seen him on a story, like in some booth that just, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, this motherfucker need to be in a nicer booth than that. So I hit him up on the IG. I'm like, bro, you need to come through here. I think he had said something like the session ended early or some shit. So I was like, yo, bro, pull up. I'm free. Let's cook. And he pulled up that night. We did like 4 joints. Like a couple of them was hooks, I think. But the vibe was just, you know, it was a good vibe. And we worked out what we had to work out. And we just been working ever since. You know what I mean? It's been like 2 years. He's been coming consistently every week. So we got a lot of records in the stash, a lot of shit that people haven't heard and are going to be surprised when they hear. You know what I mean? It's just, but definitely, just a good hit. I still working with him because he's a good dude.
That was good, bro.
Yo, this is Black Friday.
With Black Friday in the building, man.
Yeah.
Oh
shit, you doing something?
Yeah,
I came in for Don, but you know, we are here now.
You're going to probably chop it up anyway, right? Or no, do you just let him go through?
Oh, what happened?
The interview.
Oh, yeah, I can chop it up. Yeah, it's easy, you know. Like, for the most part, I rock out with, like, the natural stuff. Like, I'll probably even keep that shit in there.
All right.
People fuck with that shit. Exactly. But, shit, so, like, are you a part of YTH yourself, then? I see you're dripped out.
Yeah, today I was like, it's Monday, and I put the shorts on, and I was like, damn, all right, let me just put the shirt on, too. But, yeah, man, I'm definitely YTH. I got to get my tap. A bit white, you know what I mean? Since that day, the vibe was real, and we just we connected, you know what I'm saying? And we just... And I liked his style, you know what I mean? He was just down to do whatever, try whatever. So we you know what I mean? We just were making some different shit that I was like, yo, this is fun. You know what I mean? That's always the fun. You know what I mean? Chasing stuff is you know what I mean? You're chasing something. Like trying to just do something organic and fresh. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if you're enjoying it, that's really the end of it, because like obviously you want to get rich doing this, but like you want to have fun doing it, you know?
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to get rich, but at the end of the day, like, we're living the dream right now.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all this shit we're going to look back on like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to live in that moment, too.
Yes, I was always thinking, like, this is the moment we're in. Obviously, this is how time works, but this is the moment we're in now. But, like, one day, this is going to be the past. We're going to get old and, like, decrepit.
We're going to miss this shit, too.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether we was broke or didn't, or was just making it, bye, you know what I mean? We're gonna still miss this shit.
Exactly. You can really just look back and be like, yeah, especially now with all the technology, like we'll have shit documented, we're gonna look back and be like, wow, like shit was lit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, what's your role in everything? Are you just like an engineer? You produce? You make beats? What do? You make music yourself?
Yeah, I do it all really. You know what I mean? I started making beats. I started playing guitar when I was 11, and I just fell in love with, you know what I mean, making my own like chord progressions and shit like that. Like I was kind of too shy at that point to really start singing. I didn't know what I was like, I can't rap. Yeah, at that point, like I said, I'm older, so like when I was in middle school, like the first rap albums I got was 50 Cent, fucking Guess Who's Back, We Are the Streets, Locks, and Legend of the Liquid Swords by GZA. My brother got me him because he seen that I was starting to like gravitate towards rap. I used to like, you know what I mean? And then, so that, in that era was like different, you know what I mean? Like you talking about some other shit, like I'm not gonna be a rapper, you know what I mean? Like, but I always had like melodies in my head and shit like that. But I just progressed on, got a laptop when I was in high school, like when I was about to graduate, started making beats and recording my friends. And one day I just was like, fuck it, I wrote some shit and hopped on some shit. Actually, the first song I ever made was when my best friend Austin died, R.I.P. Austin. That's actually what the clothing store is named after. I should have said that earlier. It's his initials, All the Way. Is Austin Thomas Rain. So he passed away like his wake was the day of my graduation.
Wow, that's some shit.
So I had just got the shit. My grandfather bought me my laptop early because he was like, if you go to college, I'm gonna buy you a laptop. And I got accepted into a college for music. I was going for music education. But yeah, he passed away. And like within that week, I made a beat. I think, it's crazy. I think I started making the beat while he was there, and he was like, "Yo, this shit's hard." So then I was just listening to that beat, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna write him a song." So I wrote a song for him. That was the first song I ever made. And then like, kind of was hooked after that. But it's always been like, as me as an artist, it's kind of always been on the back burner because I knew I didn't have the real funds to be an artist, and I knew I had other skills that I could get myself where I needed to be.
And then the question with that, like, because I know you said like you grew up on like 50 Cent and like the other artists you're talking about, like,
yeah.
Do you feel like part of you like not wanting to go force it into being a rapper is like because you're white? Like you're a white dude, you be like, I'm a white dude, I can't rap.
Not necessarily. I mean, at that point, there was the only dude was like Eminem, and I wasn't really fucking with his style. Like I all respect to Eminem, but like at that point, I used to listen to like Eminem, the Infinite album when that shit was like, I'm not when it came out, of course, but like I got put onto it, and you know what I mean? Then when I heard what he was doing with his new shit, I was kind of like, eh. Then I was like, damn, like that's all of, you know what I mean? That's what we're being represented as. So I did kind of like, you know what I mean? But I don't think I really ever thought of it like that. I don't really care. You know what I mean? People are gonna, you know what I mean, judge you for whatever you do, no matter what. So it's like, whatever. I wasn't the type to be like insecure or be like care what people think ever. So I was like, whatever. Once I started, you know what I mean, there's shit when I was like probably 19, 18, 20, getting up on like, at these like local fucking open mics and shit, you know what I mean, and spitting and shit. And at one point I was like really trying to rap, and I kind of wish I really stuck to my more like musical background, you know what I mean? Because I felt like I got lost a little bit, and then when I started doing the more musical shit, like, and being around singers and shit, you know what I mean? It was like, oh shit, yeah, this is where I need to be doing every type of music. Like, I got an internship so I went to, after my boy died, I went to college. I went up to the University of New Hampshire for music education. But I brought like a QP of weed with me. And I was like, I'm going to sell this shit and try to make some money, because I was like selling a little weed back in the day. So I was like, I smoked that whole QP in like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I was like, but my boy had just died. I'm up in the middle of nowhere in the woods. So I was just like making beats and smoking mad weed. That's what all I was doing, playing the guitar and making shit. And like, I got like 2 months into college, and I'm like, bro, I can't be here no more. Because I kept going back to buy more weed, and then I spent all my bread. I had stacked up some money, spent it all, smoked it all, and was just like, yo, nah, this ain't what I need. I don't want to be a music teacher when I'm fucking 23. Like, I want to be, you know what I mean? So, and I was like, I just thinking about life. My boy just died. My best friend just died. So I'm like, fuck this. Came back home. I started working for my pops doing construction. I built this whole studio right here by myself.
Crazy, man.
So I got that background too. But yeah, I mean, it needs some. I got a couple loose ends, but you see the vision at least.
Hell yeah, bro. This Black Water's fire.
Thanks, bro. But I came back, stacked up a little more bread, and found a school in New York called Institute of Audio Research. Went to school there, learned how to like really record in Pro Tools. I had Pro Tools before that, but I like learned like the ins and outs of Pro Tools.
And what year was this?
This was in 2009.
Right.
So 2009, I went out there. Then I had a couple bullshit internships, like, and then the school called me and said that the studio called Daddy's House. It's actually Puff Studio. It was like, and I went for the interview. They were like, when can you start? I'm like, I'll start right now. They was like, and they was like, all right, go home and change and come back. Because I was just in some regular clothes, and I guess Puff was having he was having a party that night. So they told me to go home and change into something nicer. I put like my Timbs and some fucking thermal on, I think, like considered that nice. No, like, I'm just an intern though, but yeah, man, I learned a lot there. Yeah, I met him a few times. Yeah, like I've seen him a lot of times, but I've only had like 2 real interactions with him where like we spoke to each other, because they tell you not to talk to his ass. They tell you don't even say hi. Like, if he says hi to you or talks to you, yeah, but like don't go out your way and like stick your neck out. Even though, but he isn't an asshole like they kind of take him to be. I will say that, because even if you did say hi, he would, you know what I mean, he would say what up. But if he's in one of them moods, I'm sure he'd be like,
fuck is this fucking guy?
Who are you? Get the fuck out of my face. You know what I mean?
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, it probably always comes down to like, they don't want you being like, yo, Puff, like, I make beats on the side, like,
right, exactly, yeah.
Exactly, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, but that's where I learned too. Like, you gotta really be confident in what you do too, because at that point I was doing everything, and I was kind of like, and I know I'm there to be an engineer. I'm making mad beats, but deep down I'm still writing music and recording in the studio late at night. But you know what I mean, actually Mario Winans was the one who asked me. He's like, yo, we had the same tattoo, so he's like, he pointed at my tattoo, and I'm like, what up? And he's like. And I'm like, oh, what up, man? He's like, bet. And we started talking. He's like, what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm engineering, but I also make beats. I got beats, and I play guitar. And he's like, I do music too. And he's like, yo, you gotta know what you want to do. Like, what are you doing? Who are you? Like, what's your purpose? Like, so at least pick one. Even if it is all, you can't sound crazy. If it is gonna be all 3, you gotta be like confident with your answer, you know what I mean? So that was like a lesson too. Like, so I kind of, when people asked me, I was kind of in that mode. I learned how to put on different hats, basically. Yeah, man, I feel you. So I was an engineer hat all the time. Like, if they really was asking for, I knew my beats wasn't to the caliber. Like, I was seeing Puff work. Like, he would take a reference track and dissect the fuck out of it, like, and have 6 different producers do different parts and fucking keep parts from different people, and just hearing that shit, I was just like, I was making fucking sample boom bap beats, like shit like Mobb Deep type shit and stuff like that. And then I went in there and I'm like, oh,
levels to this shit.
Yeah, like, okay. And I'm a musician, so I'm like, I could figure that out, yo. I could play that somehow. You know what I mean? And so I started diving into like pop beats and shit like that. It was right around, it was the album that was called Last Train to Paris. So it was Puff and those 2 girls, Dawn and Kalina. And it was a pretty crazy album. Right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then they redid that Jay-Z beat. Fucking cough up a lung where I'm from, Marcy, son.
See, like, I'm still a little younger, so I'm not fully
exactly.
So, like, I know the hits, like
exactly.
I'm coming home, I'm coming
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, that's the one I know. That was the biggest one out that album.
Yeah, but yeah, even that track, like, hearing that from start, if you heard the original version of that, it's like completely different from what it is now. So that's why, like, a lot of people probably can't, like, they don't respect Puff like they should, because they don't see that shit behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, he's just dancing in the video. Like, no, that motherfucker has a lot of hands. It kind of reminds me of Donin a little bit. Because, like, you might sit there and be like, yo, what is this dude talking about? Like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? And sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I told you, what are you talking about? But then sometimes, like, and you're saying this in your head, but, like, but you always got to have an open mind in this shit. You can't ever, like, shut someone down completely. You can give your opinion, and, like, even if it's constructive, like, it's constructive, like, and
the best people will listen to what you gotta say and they'll actually take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, like, but we'll try some shit, and, you know what I mean? That's why, like I was saying, like, I mean, it's a little different, but, you know what I mean? That's what Don reminds me of that in a little sense, that he's, like, he's real hands-on with the production and the beat making.
Exactly. He's
like, from the start. So he'll be like, we'll make some shit. Oh, Black Friday ain't here no more. We'll make some shit that I would have never made because he just gave me the whole idea for that shit. Yeah. And then sometimes we don't even end up using it. And we might fucking, like, we might sell it or something, and now I gotta give him his credit, you know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, definitely.
Exactly. No, it's fire. So, like, so you're more like having the many hats, because I'm on that same shit you are, like, bro, so, like, before this, bro, like, even I still make music, bro, like, I'm a videographer, I video edit, like, I do the interviews, I do podcasts with my friends.
You're young, bro, do more, too, fuck it, bro, just figure out everything you can, you know what I mean, like, because at one point, I was just so focused on this, I felt like I could still do whatever I want to do. I know I could pick up a camera, start editing, I have edited videos, I've shot little shit, but, like, I've never really took it serious, like, and be like, I really want to learn that shit, you know what I mean?
I feel like when you're creative,
but when you're young, you can do that.
Transfer.
Yeah, what?
I said, like, when you're creative, man, the skills transfer.
Yeah, exactly. And even a lot of the technical shit kind of transfers too, like on the computer and shit, like with editing and shit, you know what I mean? Like, chopping shit and dragging shit. Like, not all the fucking commands are definitely different, but not the editing ones, like actual chopping and shit.
Okay, man.
Yo. Make nasty.
That's good, bro. Marsco. Good with you, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, like, that's what I said to say to you, just fucking keep all them hats on, you know what I mean? And you'll know when that, like, you know what I mean, if you got a chance to go to an event and shoot for somebody or do some shit, you know what I mean, then, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, but, like, you just gotta know when to throw that other shit in there a little bit.
Exactly.
You'll know when the time's right.
You know, bullshit, like, I went to YTH Fest, I had a media pass. And I ended up going on stage because niggas missed their set. And I was like, I was right in the front row with my camera. I was like, yo, I make music. And I was like, let's get up there.
Oh, yeah.
I did 2 songs and it was lit. And I went right back to record it.
Hell yeah.
Shit was turned.
Exactly.
You know, you never know what shit might happen. But, yo, like, I appreciate you hopping on this camera with me. This was impromptu, you know?
Yeah,
it was fine. I appreciate you, bro. And drop your shit again. Get your name, your social. Where can they find you?
DilliGang at the Stew. You can find me anywhere. Bookthestew.com if you want to book a session. If you want to hear some beats, you got to come through and listen to some beats or listen to what we got already. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, DilliGang at the Stew, at All The Way Clothing. You know what I mean? All your merch needs, whatever you need, man. Peace.
Peace. We out of here.